Shalom Rainicorns, it's Ellie here, and you guys, I'm so excited. Several different reasons. So, today is November 30th. That's one. And that means several different things. But on top of that, this is funny, but it's also important. Where you at? Nigga, where you at? Always doing something that you know you're not supposed to be doing. Here we go. There she go. Y'all, it's 10 a.m. Like, it's literally 10 a.m. Yeah, let me see if I can zoom in on her. There we go. It is 10 a.m. Like 10:30 something, 10:40 something. She's just out like she's supposed to be out. But did y'all see what she looked like, though? So we got a new moon coming up. And I did a lot of releasing last night. I didn't do a lot of shadow work. I won't say a lot of shadow work. But it was just like a lot of energy that was built up and pent up for a while. I got that out of my system. And I was like, yo, like, it is, not only is it important, and I'm not just coming on here to like just tell y'all about that. It's the fact that we are literally like, this is it. You know, the matrix is broken. Even though we still do certain things and we still operate in certain ways and we still play the matrix game, nothing will ever be the same. We're not going to enter into 2022 thinking the way that we did in 2018, 19. Even if you're not on the spiritual path like all of us are, you're literally going to be entering a new year with an entirely different mindset than you've had in years. So the matrix is broken because you can't fix things like that. Like, the only other times where we had situations similar to this were when there were like economic shifts, like recessions and depressions and stuff. Great Depression ain't got nothing on this. They never shut down the entire world for anything, and they never kept creating different issues to keep the first issue going as if it was an issue in the first place. But I won't speak on that too much because, you know, they out here taking down YouTube videos and stuff. They won't even let me monetize this channel because of the content I post. So anyway, I did so much like releasing last night. I did some like I said, a little bit of shadow work. And I also want to talk about how, you know, we have a lot of things that coincide with, if we're going to use the word religion, right? Those of us who are on the spiritual walk and actually like are intentionally growing ourselves in our astral bodies, in our light bodies, you know, different concepts like that. But we also have to, you know, go in and see the lessons that we learn from religion, right? Oh, look at the rainbow. Can y'all see? Yay! Look at it. And so, you know, we can't just like completely throw away everything that we learned. And if we went to church, if we went to mosque, if we went to, you know, any type of religious gathering, and even certain traditions, right? Of course, the traditions we don't keep are these holidays. We don't do those. We don't do things like get dressed up for certain occasions and participate in rituals that we didn't create. Like, you know, if you have your own family practice, similar to like Kwanzaa, right? Kwanzaa was created for the African American in the United States. That was created in the 60s. So if someone's celebrating Kwanzaa, I feel that. That makes sense to me. The rainbow laugh, yeah, because you do. Look at it. But yeah, that tradition would make sense to me if somebody was to keep, you know, Kwanzaa going on in their family. But Christmas, that don't make no sense to me. Easter, that don't make sense to me. Especially if you're calling yourself a quote unquote minority, an African American, a Latino person, you're celebrating things like the 4th of July and like Thanksgiving. Like that doesn't even make any logical sense to keep those holidays and traditions going. But I digress. We got to take those lessons that we learned growing up from religion and tradition. Like some people, they were atheists, right? So they can't say that they come from a religious background, but they still do hold certain traditions that will help them in their spiritual walk and everything that they need to know for, this ascension. And I appreciate that. And, when it comes to holding these traditions, it's not necessary, like it's the energy behind it and everything. Like it's a whole lot that goes into it. Like I was watching a Divine Insight lecture yesterday, getting a refresher on something. And he said that Constantine was one of the main reasons why Christianity is what it is today. And this is all going to tie back into what I was talking about as far as like the new moon and everything in a minute. But he was talking about how, of course, like Constantine was like, we're going to make bank off of this whole Christianity thing. But also Constantine was the one who made the quote unquote Sabbath day go from Saturday to Sunday. Now, I personally take offense to that because I'm a Capricorn. Saturday is my day. That's Saturn day. There's a reason why that's a Saturday. It's literally like everything was orchestrated for a reason that way. So the fact that Constantine just came in and changed cosmic, tradition, that messes everybody up. So like that's why like when it comes to certain things, Plasma Ether, thank you. When it comes to certain things, when like Christians say things or like, people who are against Christianity say things, I'm like, first of all of y'all are wrong, because you don't even have the right starting point, as Dolo the Pilot Man says. And so when you look at things like religious books like the Bible or the Quran, you have to look at, the situations and circumstances that the author was in at the time. And then you have to see how these different things evolved over time. I'm 100% sure there's certain things in the Nation of Islam that are not in the Quran. Okay? I'm not part of the Nation of Islam. My dad was for a period of time. And I fully respect him for his choices and decisions with everything that he did. My mom was a Christian. She was, she still is kind of very religious. And so them coming together and me learning certain things in the way that they are as individuals and as people, it brought me to where I am today. Like I have very, very spiritual conversations with my dad. And he helped me to, like, he got me into numerology and like astrology and stuff. I know a lot about Chinese astrology and how it's not just like, even when we go into things like birth charts, even when we go into things like your planetary alignments, you also got to go into that lunar calendar. You got to see what the Chinese zodiac says about the year you were born, not just the day you were born, right? So we got this new moon coming up. You guys, I highly suggest, like, of course, make sure doing shadow work, because it's never like a bad time to do shadow work. That's the craziest thing to me, because it's like people will talk a certain way about doing shadow work and make it seem like this scary thing. It's not even scary if you're not intentionally doing something that's like super deep and hurtful from your past. Like if you're doing shadow work on something that deeply, deeply hurt you, then I get how that could be scary. But if you're just going back to do shadow work and be like, man, I was born the year the Ox. Yeah, Ox Gang. 1997. What year were you born? Okay. So, when you go, greetings, Vincent Branch. Yes, peace, reflection, grand rising. Dang, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but if you're just like, man, I was kind of an asshole in elementary school. Let me see why that was, and then you go back and just like think about certain things. You go back into your past, you be like, why did I act that way? And then you realize, like, your brother or your uncle or your cousin was kind of an asshole to you, so you just kind of absorb that identity as an asshole. You're the rat. Okay. Yes, I'm so glad like people are aware of things, man. Like it's I'm gonna talk about that in a second. This water's just about out, but yeah. So like doing shadow work on your personality, on why you make certain decisions, why you attract the people you do. That's one thing I will never get about this whole like single mom thing and this, you should pick better men. Like if she grew up, oh, my tea, that I'm trying to figure out what that noise is. My tea is literally screaming in my kitchen. Okay. If that girl grows up, Africa in the house, okay. That's my teapot. She's screaming. Okay, but if you have a young lady and she grows up, all she sees in her life, like her cousin's a drug dealer, her dad is a pimp, her uncle, he's in the cartel. Like, what do you expect her to do? You know? So that lady has to do a lot of shadow work and see why she attracts the men she does. Oh, my family was doing this type of thing, so that's why I attract the men that I attract, or that's why I am attracted to them. Because there is a difference between being attracted to somebody and attracting somebody. I can be as attracted as I want to the sexiest man alive, but if he's not attracted to me, I'm not gonna get him, you know? And I'm just using looks because people understand attraction versus like actual energy, but y'all get what I mean when it's like somebody's energy versus like what they look like. Anyway, I'm just using an example right now, but yeah, so she would have to go back and do a lot of shadow work and basically cleanse herself of the traits that she doesn't like. I'm not gonna talk bad about drug dealers because like we all be smoking weed, we all like, you know, some of us indulge in psychedelics and stuff. Yes, I love that. It's the unity for me. Some people indulge in psychedelics and stuff. So everybody has a dealer of some sort, especially these doctors. These doctors, whole ass drug dealers. Like, all you gotta do is say certain things or give a little money under the table. You can get whatever you want, bro. So they drug dealers too. So I do knock their hustle because they're going against the Hippocratic Oath, which is something that medical professionals are supposed to take. But a regular drug dealer, no, I really don't feel no type of way because I don't think they're doing anything wrong as far as like, you know, selling weed to people. Weed's great. Like, I'm finna roll up right now. So that's fine. And I think that they have great, I'll say structure when it comes to like running their operation, right? Even the, for lack of better terms, the low level drug dealers, like the Doughboy. I'm not talking about like, you know, big homie. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about like the ones that be like in the streets and stuff. Even they have a sense of business that'll actually like help a family run. Like, you'll see a drug dealer with his kids, you know, like you'll see them interacting. You'll see them going on family trips. You'll see them having a good time together, where you got these dudes who really don't have anything going on about them and they don't even be with their kids. You know, at least the drug dealer knows how to be a father. So that dude that doesn't have anything going for himself, he needs to figure out why he got kids and he's not, you know, in their lives for real. I'm rolling up right now. Yo, what I tell y'all. No, that's lit. That's lit. And I gotta be careful too, because I'm finna smoke my brother's weed. I'm from Tennessee. He get his stuff from Tennessee too, but he be getting that stuff from Seattle sometimes. I'd be like, dang, that stuff's strong. But it's just different, you know, so it depends. But so dude has to do shadow work and figure out why he's acting a certain way towards his family, the mother of his child, his children. And then that drug dealer, probably the only shadow work he didn't really need to do is just add like something on top of the drugs he's selling. Because other than that, if drugs weren't illegal, or if weed, I'll say marijuana specifically because we know what that means. If marijuana wasn't illegal in this country, he wouldn't have to change a single thing. So literally, he just needs to add a trait on top of that, just to like have a front basically for his drug dealings. But that dude who doesn't spend any time with his kids, he actually needs to do shadow work and become a better person, to be a better father and a better potential husband. You know, it's very different things. So like with this new moon energy, and like I know how it is with the moon. Like I said, she out for no reason, bro. She is just out right now. It is 10 a.m. Okay, so obviously we know that this holographic image isn't necessarily, I'm gonna say it like this. The image that we see has a lot of influence on how our lives go, whether it was there for the entire existence of this planet or not. I'm gonna just say it like that. And so whether we like it or not, she does have influence over certain things that happen, and it can be very detrimental for our people, especially if we don't use it right. Like, I used to charge my crystals in the full moonlight. I used to do a lot of full moon rituals, and I learned that that's actually wrong. Like, especially like if you're part of the Hebrew faith, you're not supposed to use the full moon energy for certain things, and you're supposed to do most of your work under the new moon, because that's the absence of the presence of the moon. We don't operate on moon energy. We operate on sun energy. We operate off of solar energy. Okay, so I'm not going to get too deep into that because I am not an expert when it comes to like getting deep into that. I just wanted to spend some time with you guys and the family and vibe. I'm finna go roll up though. Y'all have a great day, Grand Rising, and thank you for spending time with me today. But yeah, I just hope you guys have a great rest of your week, because this week finna be wild. Like, really, next week finna be wild, but the rest of this week is December's tomorrow. That's all I'm finna say. It's my solar return month. Okay. Shalom, Rain of Corn, Stauda.